Hey guys, welcome to Elevated Systems. I'm your host CJ, and today I'll be building a relatively inexpensive gaming PC featuring some RGB fans from GIM or GIM or GIM. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but regardless, that's weird, right? A PC build featuring some random budget RGB fans. Usually builds like this are featuring a CPU or a graphics card or even a new PC case. So why feature fans? Well, simply put, GIM, I'm going with GIM, sent these to me to take a look at, and to do that I need a PC to put them in. So rather than just put them in a PC I already have, I figured I'd take the time to build a new one, or newish PC that at the time of filming you should be able to find all the components and build it if you want to. I'll get to those parts in a minute, but back to the fans. So just for a little background, even as a small channel, I get daily emails from marketing and product reps asking if I'd like to review their products. In almost 100% of the cases, I say thanks, but no thanks. Most of these companies like GIM are Amazon marketplace sellers, and many of them are a bit shady. Most of them want me to purchase the product from Amazon and they'll reimburse me. Now I'm a verified buyer. Then they want me to post a review and the video on Amazon. Now, while a few YouTube tech reviewers actually started out as Amazon reviewers, that's just not what I do. Another thing that drives me away from these offers is if I look up the product, I read the reviews and discover that the company rewards verified buyers with a cash reward if they post a review on Amazon. You may have seen reviews where the reviewer admits they got a gift card for posting the review, or you may have even ordered something from Amazon that came with a card offering the cash deal for a review. It says something like, leave a review and email a screenshot to this address and we'll send you a gift card. Now, they won't say leave a positive review for the cash, but human beings, being what we are, typically put more of a positive spin on something, or maybe overlook a minor flaw if they think a cash reward may be on the line. The final thing I see more often than I'd like is a company requests I review a product and then asks how much I charge for a review video. I don't do paid reviews and I never will. So that's why I don't accept any of those products. However, finding new PC parts at MSRP to cover on the channel is getting hard. So if a company reaches out and doesn't meet any of those previously mentioned disqualifiers and offers a product I think may be interesting to y'all, I'll take a look at it. So first up, these GIM KB-24 RGB Case Fans. People like RGB, and it's an easy and pretty affordable way to customize your PC build. And when you put it on a component that you already need in a PC and offer it at the same price, as in the case of these non-RGB fans, then why not? Also, GIM sent these to me directly, or more precisely, because they're actually a Chinese company, they just ordered them from Amazon themselves and had them shipped to me. They didn't ask for an Amazon review, and from what I can tell from reading the reviews on Amazon, they don't seem to pay for reviews. So I'll test these fans out and let you know what I think. And I guess the first thing I should do is get them out of the box and see what's included. Then we can look at the PC build they'll be going in. All right. All right, so first thing, there's no real additional wrapping. They're just kind of in the box. We got our case fan screws. We got 3 fans, a remote control, a controller, and an RGB cable. And finally, this looks like an instructions for the remote control. The GIM KB-24 RGB Case Fans are 120mm fans with an operational speed of 0 to 1300 RPM and provide up to 38.5 cubic feet per minute of airflow. These are RGB focused fans, and the 9 translucent fan blades are illuminated by 16 hub-mounted RGB LEDs. In addition to the fan blades, there are 16 RGB LEDs integrated into the fan frame that illuminate the rings on the front, sides, and rear of the fan's perimeter. The fans have a 6-pin proprietary plug and can only be connected to the included controller. There is no PWM support. The included SATA-powered controller can control up to 10 fans and 2 RGB LED strips and can be connected to a motherboard ARGB header or a case reset switch. The included remote is one of 3 ways to control the RGB lighting, but it is needed to control the fan speed. Okay, that's what comes in the box of the triple pack of these GIM fans and some of their technical specs, so onto the PC. And I guess I'll start with the elephant in the room. The CPU I'm going with is the Intel Core i3-10100. I know, Intel builds are not very popular right now. They generate vigorous debate in the comments and dislikes for creators who dare to use them in a build, but this Intel CPU, in my opinion, is the best budget 4-core 8-thread CPU of the past year. There are no faster Ryzen 4-core processors available. I said available. Yes, the Ryzen 3 3300X beats this in most gaming benchmarks, but the 3300X is like a rainbow unicorn that's rarely seen in the wild. This CPU can buy, and have been able to since launch. At launch, it was about $130, but now it hovers around $116, but I've seen it as low as $99. There's also the 10100F version that's less prevalent, but you can find for around $85. Onto the graphics card. I have the vanilla GTX 1660. I'm going with this because when I tested it in Cyberpunk 2077, I was honestly impressed with its performance, and I've seen them available online between $230 and $260. This is the Gigabyte Gaming OC model, but pretty much any GTX 1660 performs the same, or at least within a few percent of each other. I have 16 gigabytes of Corsair LPX DDR4 2666 megahertz memory. That's the max speed for the CPU and motherboard. And the motherboard is where this build gets a bit derailed because I ordered an ASRock B460 Pro 4, but for some reason it's been sitting in Commerce City, Colorado for like a week. So the only other socket 1200 motherboard I have on hand is this Gigabyte Ultra Durable B460M, but this one's brown and it's a micro ATX board that I'm gonna put in a full-size ATX case. And that case is the Fantex Eclipse P400A because this is one of the best mesh front high airflow cases available. Again, available. And remember, this is about testing out some fans, so the RGB fan should look great in this, and this is the non-RGB or the non-digital model, so it only comes with 2 black case fans. Final parts we have are the EGVA 450 watt bronze rated power supply. When choosing a power supply, you should go with at least what's recommended for the GPU, and the GTX 1660 recommends a 450 watt. Also, this one is available for under $50 and comes with a 3-year warranty. For storage, I have a 500 gigabyte PNY 2.5-inch SSD. This is a good starting point for storage, but depending on how much room you have in your budget and how much room you need for storage, you can go larger or even step up to an NVMe drive or a combination of both. All right, now that's the parts. Let's get to the build. Now, when the ASRock motherboard I ordered actually arrives, I will be doing a complete step-by-step build tutorial for this gaming PC. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to get subscribed, but for today, you'll just get a quick build montage, I think. PC is assembled, all that's left to do is connect the fans. Now, the only way to connect these fans is with the included control box. As I mentioned, these are proprietary connectors, so they won't just plug into the motherboard. This has its pros and cons, which I'll discuss, but first let's get them connected. So the first thing I need to do is install the control box, which is pretty simple. Just pick a good spot. This looks like a nice open spot. Peel the backing paper off, the included double-sided tape, and then just stick it in place. Now I can start plugging in the fans, and I'm gonna start with the front bottom fan, and that will be fan number 1. Then I'll just work around to the rear fan, which will be fan number 6. So there are already 2 pros. First, I can connect all my fans in one spot, so I don't have to figure out which fan headers I want to use, how I'm gonna route the cables there, or hunt around for a fan splitter cable. Also, this box controls up to 10 fans, so you don't have to fill the back of your case with a bunch of fan controllers. And since I have 2 fan kits, that leaves the second controller as a backup if I ever need it. Now, to power all those fans and RGB, I just need to plug the SATA into SATA power. And finally, there are multiple ways to control the RGB elements of the fan. First is the included remote control, but you can also plug the reset switch into the controller right here and use the reset switch on the case to cycle through your RGB modes. And finally, using this included cable, you can connect this box to a 3-pin 5-volt RGB header on your motherboard, if there is one, and control the RGB with your motherboard RGB software. That could be a pro or a con. I haven't met a motherboard RGB software that I've liked, so I typically don't use it if I can get away with not having to, but it can be nice to have the option if you're trying to match the fans to all the other RGB components in your PC, like the RAM and motherboard. Okay, that's it for this one. It's pretty simple. Let's just get this thing all buttoned up and booted up so we can see how these things look and perform. Okay, powered up and the fans are lit up and spinning. Now let's talk about the fan part of the fan first. You know, the main reason you need fans in a PC, to move air. These fans do move air, and to control how much air, you need the remote. There are 4 settings: off, low, medium, and high. At high, the fans spin at 1300 RPM, and while unrestricted, produce an airflow of about 3.3 meters per second. When the front panel is installed, the airflow is reduced by about 24%. I can't measure the medium and low settings as it takes at least 2 meters per second to spin my anemometer, but they do move air, and depending on your setup, it should be enough airflow for an idle system. The noise levels, however, is where we encounter the first concern I have for these fans. If we just go by the readings, everything looks fine. With the fans off, the background noise level of my studio is 42 decibels, so factoring out background noise, levels at low speed is only 32.9 decibels and only 36.1 decibels at medium. However, although the normal whooshing of air, the typical fan noise, is barely noticeable at low and medium speeds, what is noticeable is a pulsating, vibrating noise. Unlike the typical steady state fan noise, this pulsing noise is, annoying. Once you kick the fans to high, the pulsing goes away and you just have the normal steady state fan noise, which only registers at 46.1 decibels. That's what it's at right now, and it's not bad at all, but at medium or low, I just can't sit next to it. This is one of the weaknesses of controlling the fans with the control box, or at least doing it in the way that this control box does. Of the 6 wires that connect each fan to the control box, only 2 of them power the fan itself, just a 12-volt DC and a ground wire. And while on high, the control box delivers a steady 12 volts, when on medium or low, instead of using a linear regulator, which basically just reduces the voltage, making the fan spin slower, this controller uses a switching regulator, which basically, without getting into the engineering weeds, just switches the voltage on and off. Now, this is a good way to regulate fan speeds. It's actually more power efficient and potentially generates a lot less heat, but the circuit is more complicated and requires, well, more stuff after the switching regulator to make sure a more steady voltage is being delivered to the fan. As far as the RGB element, well, that's the focus of these fans, and there is RGB. You have hub-mounted RGB LEDs illuminating the translucent fan blades, and RGB in the frame illuminating the thin rings on the front and back and sides of the fan. There are dozens of modes and color combinations. There are 3 music modes. There's a DIY mode if you can figure out how to use it. You can control the light intensity as well as the pattern speeds. There's buttons for solid red, for green, for blue, and what impressed me, white. That actually looks white. Now, the camera might not do it justice, but it is white. So as far as RGB, if that's what you're after, they check all the boxes and dress up a otherwise pretty visually boring PC. As far as fans, I'm not happy with the method of controlling fan speed. Personally, I couldn't have this PC within 10 feet of me with that pulsing noise, but I guess if that doesn't bother you or you just leave them on high, I'd say they're worth the price at only $26 US for the triple pack. Single fans are only $7.99, which is the price I'd pay for a simple non-RGB case fan from the bargain bin at Micro Center. So overall, it's a good price to performance deal. Now, for the PC performance, make sure you get subscribed and stay tuned because, like I said, I'll be doing a complete build tutorial on this once the correct motherboard arrives. If it arrives, hopefully it arrives. Anyway, I'll also be testing the system out and seeing how it performs in some modern game titles. Also, if you haven't checked out the M1 Mac Mini series I just started, make sure you do because this will be the price point comparison PC I'll be using there. But that's it for this one, guys. Make sure you hit that like before clicking on to the next video. It really does help out with the all-powerful algorithm. And if you have any questions, be sure to ask in the comments below. Also, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Typically, only 6% of my viewers keep watching after I say, that's it for this one, guys. So now only 6% of you will know that I'm giving away these 2 triple packs of fans. So if you want a chance to get in on the giveaway, just leave a comment below on what you thought of the fans or what other budget-friendly PC components you think I should review. But don't give away the giveaway to the other 94% of people who clicked away. I'll pick 2 winners randomly from the comment section in 4 weeks from upload, and I'll send these anywhere the US Post Office will ship them. But if you're outside the US, you're responsible for any taxes and fees. I'm just paying for shipping. Don't put any contact info in the comment. I'll just reply to the winners with instructions on how to contact me directly. Good luck, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe.